Mechagodzilla and Mecha-King Ghidorah, two iconic mechanized versions of kaijus in the Godzilla universe. Which one is actually stronger or better? Since they have never faced off against each other in the past, the answer is really for anyone to decide. So here we will do just that, assess these two metallized giants and see which one has an edge over the other. Let's begin. Mechagodzilla made his debut in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla of 1974, where he was revealed to be the ultimate weapon of the Planet 3 aliens. He was made to conquer Earth and claim it as their new home. After being destroyed, he returned in Terror of Mechagodzilla in 1975 as Mechagodzilla 2, rebuilt with even greater power and controlled via the brain tissue of Katsura Mifune. The character was later reimagined in the Heisei era with Godzilla Mechagodzilla 2 in 1993. This time he was a human-built machine, created by the G-Force to defend humanity from Godzilla. His construction relied heavily on reverse engineering technology salvaged from the cybernetic remains of Mecha-King Ghidorah, fusing futuristic technology with current Earth's engineering. Then the Millennium Era gave us Kiryu, perhaps the most unique take on the character. In the anime trilogy, Mechagodzilla was planned as Earth's ultimate weapon against Godzilla Earth, although it was destroyed before activation. And finally, in the Monsterverse, we have a more industrial-looking Mechagodzilla, who was created using the remains of Monster Zero and controlled via a Neuralink. The incarnations of Mechagodzilla vary significantly across eras, both in origin and design. The Showa Mechagodzilla was angular and robotic with silver armor, glowing yellow eyes, and a stiff mechanical gait. It was an alien war machine with a heavy emphasis on overwhelming firepower. The Heisei Mechagodzilla was bulkier and more Tang-like, taller than Godzilla with smoother lines and a diamond-coated armor. Unlike its alien predecessor, this human-engineered war machine designed explicitly to combat kaiju with advanced weaponry. Then the Millennium Kiryu was constructed around a real kaiju skeleton, Godzilla to be precise, and he looked sleeker and more organic in shape, sporting shoulder-mounted weapons and a full-length tail. The anime Mechagodzilla looked the most radical here. Never truly activated, its head and nanometal body evolved into Mechagodzilla City in the end. Finally, we have the Monsterverse Mechagodzilla, who was the most industrial looking, with red-lit spines, massive claw-like hands, and an almost skeletal frame that was built for raw efficiency and not style. Now heading over to the three-headed dragon, Mecha-King Ghidorah's story begins with the original Heisei-era King Ghidorah, who was introduced in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah of 1991. After being defeated in battle by Godzilla in Hokkaido, Japan, King Ghidorah's body fell into the Sea of Okkots. It was comatose and badly damaged and almost dead. And in the far future, in the year 2204, humans of the 23rd century found this body and decided to salvage and rebuild him into a powerful weapon. Cybernetic reconstruction replaced his destroyed wings, his chest and his central head with advanced machinery, effectively resurrecting him as Mecha-King Ghidorah. Mecha-King Ghidorah was sent back in time to 1992 to stop Godzilla's rampage in Tokyo. So this unique blend of biological remains and futuristic technology gave rise to one of the franchise's most memorable and visually striking monsters, also very unique as it was only used one time, part alien dragon, part machine. But despite its mecha prefix in its name, Mecha-King Ghidorah is not purely a robotic construct like Mechagodzilla. Instead, it is a cyborg, meaning its organic body has been reinforced and augmented with machinery. Two of its three heads remain the original Ghidorah's organic ones, but the central head is entirely mechanical and fitted with an advanced laser cannon. Its chest and torso were armored with reinforced plating, while its wings were rebuilt with metallic structures that double as energy-absorbing solar panels. The cybernetics are seamlessly fused with its alien biology, allowing it to function both as a living organism and a machine-controlled weapon system. Unlike an autonomous mecha, Mecha-King Ghidorah is piloted remotely and also directly from a cockpit by Emikano and aided by her android companion called M11, making it effectively a weaponized puppet rather than a mecha or even a free-willed monster. Its cyborg status is important. It still has the strength and vitality of the organic body, but with technological enhancements and weaknesses that come with relying on cybernetics. So Mecha-King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla are both towering fusions of kaiju might and futuristic technology, but their powers and abilities are very different, especially in combat philosophies and doctrines. Mecha-King Ghidorah remains at heart a biological monster enhanced by cybernetics, with its two organic heads still firing the classic gravity beams, while the cybernetic central head, unleashes a devastating triple laser capable of cutting through Godzilla's natural defenses. Its ankle-mounted anti-gravity generators grant it a high maneuverability and sustained hovering flight of up to Mach 4, while his mechanical wings serve as energy collectors, which means here that even wing damage from, let's say, the atomic breath doesn't really ground him, as he can fly by other means. Mecha-King Ghidorah also supplements his range power by exotic utilities like electrified capture cables, a machine hand that can physically lift and restrain Godzilla, and in some depictions, energy shields, electrical bites, and even time-warping technology from his built-in kid's time machine. Then Mechagodzilla, by contrast, embodies the overwhelming raw firepower of a mechanized giant, and across the incarnations it is less an augmented beast and more like a walking weapons platform. The Showa version was essentially a missile fortress, with space beams, a mouth cannon, finger and knee missiles, and a near indestructible space titanium armor which was bolstered by a rotating force field barrier. The Heisei Mechagodzilla refined this into an energy warfare system, wielding the plasma grenade chest cannon, shock anchors for electrical paralysis, and a reflective diamond armor, while even combining with the Garuda to enhance its firepower. Kiryu's hybrid nature emphasized great adaptability, with great agility and devastating single-shot weapons like the Absolute Zero Cannon, which could instantly annihilate kaijus but at a cost of immense energy drain. Later iterations such as the anime nanometal version and the Monsterverse Mechagodzilla pushed extremes, either by turning into an entire city, or it was built into a brutal melee juggernaut armed with thrusters, hydraulic strikes, and the proton beam, which rival or even beat the atomic breath. So now, when examining their combat records against Godzilla, Mecha-King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla showed their different combat styles and effectiveness. Mecha-King Ghidorah fought valiantly and demonstrated unique advantages over Godzilla, but ultimately could not match Godzilla's durability. He managed to unleash heavy barrages of gravity beams and mechanical laser fire that temporarily forced Godzilla into the defensive, and more impressively, he restrained Godzilla with his capture cables and machine hand, physically hauling him into the air and dragging him out to sea. However, his lack of staying power showed quickly. Godzilla's point-blank atomic breath tore through his chest's components, causing both to crash into the ocean. Godzilla survived and escaped, while Mecha-King Ghidorah was left crippled on the seafloor. Now, Mechagodzilla, by contrast, has consistently proven to be one of Godzilla's deadliest recurring enemies, often coming closer to outright victory than the cyborg dragon. The Showa Mechagodzilla nearly killed Godzilla in their first encounter. The Heisei Mechagodzilla escalated the threat even further, overwhelming Godzilla with a devastating array of energy weapons and nearly killing him outright, only for Fire Rodan's sacrifice to turn the tide of the battle. Kiryu's battles were more nuanced, showing a stalemate-like balance. While his absolute cannon, a Zero Cannon, could restrain Godzilla, it didn't really last for long. The anime version, though never really fighting Godzilla directly, created Mechagodzilla City, which nearly assimilated and consumed Godzilla Earth before Sabotage ended its campaign. Finally, the Monsterverse Mechagodzilla arguably displayed the most dominance of all, overpowering Godzilla in both melee and ranged combat, only losing due to Kong's intervention with an empowered weapon and also by, tag team with Godzilla. Now, when we pitch Mecha-King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla, what would be the outcome? See, these two show very different styles of battle. One focuses on versatility, the other on pure firepower. Mecha-King Ghidorah's cybernetic upgrades like his mechanical middle head, capture cables and gravity beams make him good at holding enemies down, also draining energy and disabling them instead of outright destroying them. His metal arms and tendrils could wrap around Mechagodzilla's joints, trying to slow him down or cut off movement. The problem is that these attacks don't really hit hard enough to smash through Mechagodzilla's tough armor. Mechagodzilla, on the other hand, is built for constant destruction. His arsenal, which are missiles in his fingers, lasers in his eyes, and a powerful rainbow-colored space beam or the proton beam, depending on the version, can tear through Ghidorah's softer parts, like his wings, his flesh, whatever flesh he has left, and his two other heads, while hammering down even on his cybernetic parts. Ghidorah's gravity beams might make Mechagodzilla stumble or mess with his systems for a moment or a while, and his time travel tech could be a dangerous wildcard if used in battle, but Mechagodzilla's heavy defenses and endless supply of weapons keep him firing without pause, making every second dangerous for Ghidorah if he doesn't disable him fast. So in the end, when you think about it, even though Mecha-King Ghidorah might sound bigger and deadlier, it is Mechagodzilla that would come out on top. But hey, wait, before we end this, there are actually two interesting stories that connect Mechagodzilla to Ghidorah, and these are seen in the Monsterverse and in the Heisei movie. The first was the wreckage of Mecha-King Ghidorah that was salvaged, and scientists realized that Ghidorah's cybernetic systems came from an advanced future technology, far beyond current Earth's engineering of the early 1990s. His robotic central head, mechanical armor, and capture cables contained alloys, circuitry, and energy systems that gave humanity a glimpse into technology which are centuries ahead of its time. By studying and reverse engineering these components, the UNGCC developed powerful new machines, and the most important being Mechagodzilla 2. So see, Mechagodzilla was actually created from the parts, from the leftover remains, let's say, of Mecha-King Ghidorah, who was a fusion of organic and cybernetic, while Mechagodzilla here is a purely mechanical creation, but still a product that can never be possible without the existence of Mecha-King Ghidorah. Then in Legendary's Monsterverse, the relationship between Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla is more sinister and direct. After King Ghidorah, here called Monster Zero, was killed by Godzilla in the end of King of the Monsters, Apex Cybernetics recovered 2 of his skulls. Ghidorah's biology made his 3 heads semi-independent, which are capable of communicating through bioelectrical signals while also being semi-autonomous, like a natural supercomputer which can interlink with another supercomputer. Apex exploited this by converting one of the skulls into a psychic neural interface machine. This was piloted by Ren Serizawa, and he sat inside the skull and tried to control Mechagodzilla remotely, well, as best as he could. But Ghidorah's alien consciousness lingered on with his other skull, which was in the mecha, and the consciousness also resided inside his cells. And when Apex powered up Mechagodzilla indefinitely using the Hollow Earth energy, Monster Zero's will essentially hijacked the machine, knowing that it could now function for perpetuity without the need of human assistance. This is why Mechagodzilla suddenly moved with predatory instinct, no longer obeying Apex but acting like Ghidorah reborn in steel. Unlike the Heisei version where Ghidorah's remains serve only as a technological inspiration of sorts, in the Monsterverse, Mechagodzilla is a vessel for Ghidorah's lingering essence, his ghost in the machine. This makes him not only humanity's ultimate weapon, a failed weapon that they try to control, but also the resurrection of their greatest enemy, wearing armor instead of scales. And so with that, we end this video, this topic. Now, if you like this one, then watch this other one too, the one in the end screens. Also do hit that like button for support. And for the ones who are viewing this in their phones, when you like the button, there's also another hype button that appears. Well, if you press that hype button, you will hype this up for other viewers to see. Also, yeah, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, fam.